Hi, everyone. I'm Laurie Ann. I am that gal from Milton, Ontario, Canada, and I am with.
I am that guy. I am Roy Miller from Dallas, Texas. Welcome to our Lift Your Story podcast.
We're very pleased to have two students from McMaster University. They're going to tell us all about what they're doing right now, which is really exciting. So welcome, introduce yourselves.
Hey. My name is Konrad Grala. I'm an undergraduate health sciences student at McMaster in my fourth year.
Hi, I'm Ahmed Attia, and I'm also an undergraduate student at McMaster, and I'm studying biomedical and electrical engineering.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
One wasn't enough.
Well, my son's an electrical engineer, one of my sons, so I can't imagine doing that with the other.
Yeah, they tack on an extra year so you don't lose your mind. Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you're up to. I read, that you've got this idea to help people with accessibility issues. And so please give us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I'll actually I'll mention we actually have two other members of our team. So we have Amanda Tomkins, and she's also studying same thing as me, electrical biomedical engineering. And we also have Justin Rosner, and he's studying software engineering at McMaster. So essentially, we're looking for a way to create a new computer device for those who may have sort of physical impairments. So they don't have normal use of their hands or their arms, and therefore they can't interact with a normal computer mouse or a keyboard, right? So there are existing solutions out there, but we're hoping that we can come up with something a little more unique that addresses some of the problems that the existing solutions do not do a very good job of doing.
So you guys all met in school, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah. So in our first year, we actually take this design course that goes year long. And so in that course, you're kind of assigned random teams every project. And so in our final design project, we were all put together as a team, and it kind of just worked.
Yeah. I guess the project was, you had to talk to a client from our community here at McMaster, and the person we ended up talking to was actually a student, and she was explaining how she had involuntary contractions of her hand, specifically her fingers and her wrists. So, her hand would clench up into a fist, and, she can't really use a computer mouse when her hand is like that. So we sort of reverse engineered a normal Bluetooth mouse to sort of fit around, a glove that she had, and she was able to use her computer that way, even when her hand sort of clenched up. And we gave that to her, and she used it and had good use of it. And the project sort of was done after that. We did get a lot of praise for it, and we actually got to present it to the Dean of Engineering. But after that, it was kind of like, it was a project, and, it's kind of finished. Afterwards, though, they kept on showing this project at the open houses that they had at McMaster to prospective students. And about a year and a bit later, we kept on having profs sort of tell us, like, you did a really good job on this project. Why don't you look more into this and see if you can help other people? And that's sort of when we got together, we discussed it, and we decided, let's go for it, and let's see what we can do.
So you guys were first year students when you did this?
Correct.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Wow. That's incredible.
Yes.
I'm amazed at that, because I know here in the States, when you're in your fourth year, well, most kids are in their fifth year. It's a 4-year program, electrical engineering, but like my son, it's a 7-year program. But anyway, so they don't do a design project till their senior year.
Yeah, that's true.
As a matter of fact, they do all their coursework, and the last thing before they get their degree is doing their design project and then presenting it to the engineering department and other people, but and that gets signed off, then they get their degree. But you guys did it in your first year.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing behind the program we're all a part of, like the undergraduate program. It tries to take like a very project-based approach to like design. And so they kind of try to set up this design project or this design approach to engineering all throughout the program itself. So every year you're kind of doing like research and trying to come up with like unique solutions for different problems. And so, yeah, in first year, we kind of just really went at it, put a lot of hard work into it, and it kind of paid off.
What did the girl think about it when you got it done for her?
Sorry?
When you got the thing made for the girl where she could use her mouse?
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, she was amazed. To be honest, we were amazed that it worked right at the beginning.
It actually, yeah, we had it was a lot of tinkering, and especially since we kind of had to really wrestle with the existing computer mouse to get it to reconfigure around a glove. So up until the last day, we were in the lab trying to get this thing to work reliably, and then finally we were, yeah, like Konrad said, we were just as surprised. We're like, oh my God, it's finally working. Yeah.
Well,
So that's going to be a challenge to go with the computer. I mean, it'd be wonderful. I have a friend, unfortunately, had a diving accident, and now he is a quadriplegic.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that, you take for granted when we're able to use our hands and our arms. So how do you get your
100%.
funding from this too? Is that all part of the McMaster University?
Want to say that? I think in terms of funding, that's actually been a big challenge for us. There aren't many funding opportunities to begin with. Like this was just a student project at the start, and they don't really give you funding. The school had like a design studio that had a couple of resources, but a lot of it kind of just came out of our own pockets. So I think a big push in that regard is to try to make something as affordable as possible too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's actually something that like is in our kind of future plans to kind of find those opportunities to kind of get funding, make a more refined solution, and really like develop and increase outreach.
Yeah, so I guess our plan right now and our current milestones are to talk to as many people as possible that could potentially use a device that we create. And we're reaching out to different populations, people who may live with cerebral palsy, or like you said, spinal cord injury, trying to get, a good picture of kind of what they go through. And then hopefully taking those experiences and what we learn by talking to these people and getting that to influence our design. But the problem is we actually talked to some occupational therapists whose job is to basically find devices for people who may be quadriplegic, to help them access computers or just do things around the house. And one quote that really stood out to us was, we have shelves of unused devices, basically just devices that companies have made, but no one finds use in them. So that's what we're really trying to avoid. So right now we're spending as much time as we can in the design process to make sure that we get it right. And then once we have that, we can begin to raise money and hopefully, commercialize what we have.
Did you patent your device?
No, as a sense, not as of yet. And I think a big reason behind that is especially the costs. Patents are not cheap. And also I think right after we kind of made the device, we didn't see it much more than kind of just another student project. Like, oh, we did it. We did well, on to the next thing. And so kind of immediately we're like, we didn't think much about it. And then a couple months, a year down the road, we thought about it, but the costs were the big thing. And we thought maybe we can just make a more refined, a better device, a better solution. And then we'll try to attack that properly and consider like patents and what is it called? IP.
Yeah, intellectual property. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like once the one thing we've noticed is after talking to more people is our initial idea might not be the best. So we don't want to fall in love with one idea. We kind of just want to keep it open and, make the best device we can. So hopefully down the road, it's on the roadmap, you know.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, pretty freaking amazing if you ask me.
Thank you.
I mean, really. I mean, first year students coming together and putting a project like that together. I mean, you guys all graduate, form a corporation, and there's no telling where you guys are going to go.
Oh, we appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, we actually became teaching assistants for the same course that birthed this project, and they get smarter every year. It's kind of intimidating, you teach the students and they know more than you sometimes, and you're like, oh wow, okay, well, you don't need me here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I'm in the U.S. So is your school known for its engineering? Is that like a big engineering school?
Yeah, I think McMaster has a really strong engineering reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of because of that, they really tried to not accelerate it, but emphasize and amplify it a little bit more.
Yeah.
With this program.
Yeah. I know like we're ranked really high for research as well. And I think there are a lot of initiatives nowadays to sort of take the ideas to the next level. So you have a great idea. How do we help students commercialize it? And that's where a lot of the programs and initiatives have popped up. We're in the new incubator at McMaster called the Clinic at Mac, and they're helping us out, giving us access to mentors and sort of tools that we can use.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because when you get out there, it's not just about engineering. I know that my ex-husband was an engineer, and he came out and he says, well, just let the accountants do whatever they're doing, do that. But it's really important to have a base knowledge of business when you get out there. So that's really good that they're giving you mentors. That's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they help us sort of set us on the right track. Yeah.
Well, how much time? I know, well, I'm just going from my son's experience as electrical engineer. He studied a lot. So, but between all your studies, how do you have time for all this stuff?
I guess you kind of just make it work. Like I know I'm in health sciences, so my program is not as math physics intensive as engineering. So it is difficult, but it's a lot more manageable than Ahmed. I don't know how you survive.
Yeah, so I'm on internship right now, so I have for 12 months, so I do have a little bit more time, but I think even before then, when we were in school and still working on this, you kind of just have to chip away at it a little bit slowly. It's slower, but you still get stuff done. Yeah.
So you learn all about time management.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
You have to meet a lot less frequently because schedules are so busy, and you kind of just have to rely and hope that the rest of your teammates are doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah. A lot of trust in the team members, and slow growth, I guess, is the key in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has COVID been a problem for you guys?
Oh boy. Yeah. So in terms of like connecting with people, our end users and our potential customers, yeah, it's been really difficult as opposed to maybe going to, so there's technology access clinics. There's one here in Hamilton. And like I said, they have OTs that help people find the right tech to use to help them around in their everyday life. So before, we would go and visit and, talk to the OTs, maybe you get to see a couple patients. That's completely gone. So we've kind of resorted to online. You try and reach out through email, Facebook, pick up the phone. So it's an adjustment. It's a little harder, but you got to deal with it in some way.
It's a lot easier to have like more direct communication in person.
Yeah.
But I think the other big thing is trying to take advantage of this different scenario. Like everything is online, everything is more digital. So it kind of gives you different avenues to explore, like trying to reach out with people outside of province. Like there's no way that we'd be able to just drive over to a different province or a different country. But if everyone's online, if everyone has access to like Zoom, for example, it's just a phone call away now.
Yeah.
So while the connections are a bit harder to make, you really have a much greater breadth.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually.
That's actually interesting. My daughter is in her second year at Mohawk College for Engineering. And she
Okay.
said doing the online is so much more difficult because when you have your friends there to help you, and it's visual too, a lot of this. So she's found it pretty tough doing it online, but it's, it's better than if this would have happened 20 years ago, would have had
Mhm.
those options of being online.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, we're kind of grateful that it happened now, sort of, than any other time. Yeah, I don't know how we would have managed.
Yeah, because I'm more of a visual person. I do better if I'm sitting in a classroom than I do trying to do it on my own. That's just for me. That it would kill me to have to do everything online. But so it's nice to have that option though,
Right.
so you can keep moving forward instead of saying, well, next year when you go back to school, you can come back.
Yeah.
Closed for a year. So, and now you're a year farther down the road, graduation, so yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, it's kind of just sitting in one place all day. That's kind of getting to, the hardest part about school online is you have to manually like get up and change locations as much as you can just to keep your energy up.
Yeah, you really have to consciously force yourself out of your room. Like
Yeah.
it's not unheard of to spend 6 to 8 hours just in your chair.
Yeah.
And then that's not healthy at all, right? Like
Right.
the social aspect is a very big thing, and you do end up taking it for granted. Like looking back, even the 10 minutes between classes where you just like kind of chat, catch up with your friends,
Mhm.
that is not a thing anymore.
Oh, even just like on my fitness watch, I used to get my steps in, my goal every day, just walking around campus in between classes. And now it's just like, it has to alert me, like, get up, move, do something.
You have to pace back and forth in your room all day.
Yeah, I shake my wrist just to simulate some movement. I don't know.
That's what you do. You go to your phone and you look at, that was me in February, and this is me now.
Yeah.
The bars looked up was smaller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the trends are not looking good.
So Konrad, do you have a gaming chair? Are you sitting in a gaming chair?
Yes, I do. This is a bit newer. Considering COVID kind of came up, I needed to invest in my back before anything got worse.
Yeah.
So looking into something with like good lumbar support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot better than just a regular chair.
Oh yeah,
From
that's
what
for
I
sure.
understand. I'm not a gamer, but that's what all the millennials tell me.
Yeah. No, I think investing in your back is a really big thing, especially before it gets worse. Because as soon as it gets bad, you can't really go back.
So to our listeners, what I know you were talking about funding. What else can we do for you as sending out your message?
Yeah, so we've created a Google form, and we've been distributing that all over socials and LinkedIn and different organizations in hopes of just getting in touch with people. Right now, it's really all about like user needs and user definition, because that's where the design is going to come from. So you can actually email us at enablefreehand@gmail.com, and that's spelled ENABLEFREEHAND@gmail.com. So you can email us if you're interested. I can provide a link to you guys afterwards if you post about the podcast somewhere. And yeah, that's really it. Like on the poster that we've created and that we kind of distribute with this link is you have two options. You can either use the Google form and set up a meeting with us, like a call over Zoom or over the phone, or you can just send us a video of you using your current computer setup if you don't have time for a call. You just take a video. It doesn't really matter. You can use like your smartphone. It doesn't have to be a production. And yeah, there's just a place on the Google form that you can upload your video. And that'll even help us because a lot of things when it comes to design is you may not, as the user, you may not notice that something is difficult to you because you kind of sort of adjust to it and you kind of ignore it if you've found ways to deal with it, but it's still pretty inconvenient. But for us watching that video for the first time, we might be able to pick up on those things. and that's really valuable. And you also have the option to do both. You can give us a call, or you can send a video. So yeah, that's how you can help us out.
Yeah, we'll definitely get it out there. This pretty well goes everywhere to the listeners. It goes on to, well, why we call it Lift Your Story, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I think I spelled it
I
backwards
did
here.
not think about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
You have blown my mind. Okay.
It came from my book. I wrote a book about how to
Okay.
brand yourself. And so it's just so
Yeah.
much easier just to remember that. Granted, we also put it on Google. So on the
Right.
IM.Health site, Google will be there too. But it's just
Right.
easy to remember those four to lift. So
Did you copyright that yet?
it is copyrighted. It's in my book. So if anybody
Oh.
uses it, you know, I'm going to.
There you go. Awesome.
Laurie Ann's got everything copyrighted. She owns
yeah.
everything.
That's
In
brilliant.
fact,
That's the
funny,
smart thing.
they said for the book, the publisher said, "Oh, you don't need to get a copyright." I said, "I'm sorry, I get a copyright. There's no way." Like, apparently, you don't need one for a book anymore. Once it's published, it's pretty well copyright. But I
Right.
have my forms.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, so we'll get all that information and have and send that out to our listeners, and hopefully this will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. For sure that will.
It's
That'd be
been great
100%.
having you guys with us. I mean, I'm amazed at what you guys have done. I mean, it blows me away. I mean, you guys have already found your purpose at such
Yeah.
a young age. You know, it's people my age haven't found their purpose yet.
I haven't even yet.
And
Wow.
you've got the passion for it, and you've actually done something about it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate it. It's it's just the world we live in. You can try so many things and kind of figure out where your passions lie. And definitely doing this project, although it wasn't planned, it's kind of weird how things tend to work out like that. We're really enjoying the journey so far, even with the difficulties that come along with it.
Well, it was
And
probably
who knows, down the line, we might see you on Dragon's Den or
That's the goal, hopefully. Yeah. And we'll shout you guys out for sure.
So would you guys mind maybe 6 months or so coming back and kind of catching us up?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to.
I see no
Yeah.
reason why not.
Yeah, maybe your partners can come in. That'd be great, because I mean, you guys
That's
have
true.
really got some stuff going on. I'm telling you, it's so impressive. I don't think you guys really realize, maybe,
Yeah. Well, I think you put so much time and effort, and you kind of, because these projects take so long and progress kind of happens so slowly, even though if you're looking versus 10 years down, like, sorry, not 10 years, but if you look 1 year back from how much it's changed, you kind of don't realize that when you're in the middle of all that movement, and you really kind of have to take a step back to really appreciate kind of everything you've done and everything that you can kind of still do.
Yeah.
Really good point.
and how many people in the future you can help. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what a freaking legacy to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's really our minds are kind of blown, because every year you hear about a new phone or a new computer or tablet or whatever, but in terms of like the accessible technology field, it unfortunately doesn't get as much attention. Like a lot of these people are using technology that either isn't manufactured anymore or sold on markets, or is from the 90s. Like, it looks really old, and that's because it's just it's difficult to create a device that really helps as many people as you can, because everyone's experience is a little different. But I think we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely think they're going to hear about you guys in the future. There's no doubt in my mind, you guys are going to be somebody.
Hopefully. Thank you.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I mean, you got so much going on at such a young age, and y'all are very fortunate, and the people you're going to help are even more fortunate.
Hopefully that's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah. Solve make the world a little better, by solving one problem at a time. That's all you can really do. Yeah.
So, excellent. Well,
What
thank
an
you so
awesome
much
gift to
for being
have.
here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate it, man. Wish you guys all the best for sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and we hope to talk to you soon, you know,
Okay.
Yeah,
We're,
yeah.
we're,
We
we're
will
going to
keep
reach
in
back
touch.
out to you.
for sure. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
All right.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We
All right,
enjoyed
thank
it.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you too.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Bye.